Hi crafters, it's Kathy from Scrap and Bean coming to you today with my art journal. I wanted to show you how to make this background. It's really quick and easy, and I've used that on several of my pages. Maybe not that one. This background too. Multiple colors, a little bit of texture. This one too, I put a little bit of stencil on it to make it look like a brick wall. This one, you can see a lot of the background, just this multiple colors of greens, yellows, a little bit of brown in there. I just put one simple stencil on top with some modeling paste. Super quick, but I just love this background and it's so easy to make. Here's another one. In the background, you can see all this multiple colors of layers and colors, and this one too, multiple colors in the backgrounds. So we're gonna make one of those today. I did do a video on, oh, not that background, but that one again too. It's all this chalk paint. I'm just loving it. Here's one where you can see the background where I haven't done anything on top of it yet, just the background of some pinks. Here's one where I did multiple colors, all pastels, and there's actually a video up on this one so you can see the colors that I used on it. I really like that, pales. But today I'm going to show you how to get more of this vibrant, I just love this background. The blues, and it looks kind of watery to me, which is why it came to a mermaid. I often do my backgrounds first, just randomly playing with paint. And then when I go to actually do something on the page, I let the colors tell me what kind of story needs to go onto that art journal page. So we're going to start with some of these blues. A little bit of gold, which really changes things up. I love it. Several shades of blues, lights, mediums, darks, and I may even have a little bit of this stone. The color that you put down first, you end up layering on top of it, and it gets pushed to the background. So I keep that in mind when I choose the color I'm going to put in the back. And I picked this stone. I like that, and I use it a lot, and have a little clump of dried paint here. I'm gonna get rid of. And I'm just gonna do a quick, easy braying of my page. This is often what I do in my art journal. I like using the brayer, especially in these chalk paints, because I don't have to clean the brayer in between. They dry so quickly. I haven't cleaned this brayer probably 6 art journal pages using all different colors, and I haven't cleaned it off. It just dries on there and it's good to go. Yet it is water-based, so if you wanted to wash it off, it'll all still come off there. But, you know, no need to keep it clean all the time. Color is beautiful. So I put a little bit right in the ditch here because my brayer doesn't actually fit, doesn't go nicely into that ditch. So I just use a paintbrush. And I'll go a little bit on each side of the ditch too, and then my brayer will cover up these paintbrush strokes. So I guess really here all I'm doing is putting down a base color. You could use a paintbrush for this. You could use a sponge, whatever tool that you already have, totally use it. I'm just using a brayer because it's quick, easy, and because I have one. And I use this stone paint a lot. I have many pages where I've used that. And you can see I'm getting kind of close to the end of the jar there. A little bit goes a long way, so I'll still get a lot of mileage out of that bit that's left. Now on this side of my page, I'm going to lift it up with my hand because it's not flat here, because I'm not in the middle of my book, so I don't have a lot of support under this side. You could put a book under there if you wanted to, but I just lift it up and use it with my hand. Okay, so my background is not totally covered, but it's getting really close. So a lot of it is kind of covered up. And I'm going to have a little bit of this color show through. So there I'm good. And you can see how, I mean, this is totally not OCD, right? Look at all these colored gaps. And this is an ugly stage, just be aware. But it's going to change up. This is only my first layer, and I'm going to layer lots. So the colors that I want in my background, I know I want this in my foreground. I want it to be a nice bright color, maybe some of this in the foreground too. So my other colors, I'm putting down first. I'm building up the layers, starting with the bottom, moving towards the top. So the colors I'm putting down now are the ones that are just going to be peeking through later. So even though they don't look beautiful, they'll have a place on here. And I sometimes just put a little piece of paper towel under my end because you can see underneath here a little bit of my other pages show through, and I don't want this blue color to end up being a border on my other pages, right? I want this to stay all pink. So I'm just going to protect those a little bit by putting a paper towel there, and then I can roll her right off the edge and it's going to be fine. Just kind of, you know, quick and easy. It's all about having fun. Have fun, add some color to your world. And if you don't like the color, cover it up with something else. If only everything in life was that easy, eh? If you don't like it, just paint over it. Okay, so what I have accomplished here is that most of that background of the page is now covered. There's a little bit here where it's showing through, but that's okay. I have lots of layers to build up still. So I'm going to work up to another color of kind of greenish. It's called Caribbean Sea. They have fun names on these paints. So a little bit on each page, and I'll go with a little bit areas. And I just roller until my paint is pretty much dried. It just, you'll see as you're watching, it just quits moving around. So it's dry. And I'll do the same over here. Again, I'll just put my hand underneath there so I've got something to press against. And does not look like a beautiful mess. Hey, have faith, it's coming. So now I'm going to go a little bit darker. Let's go this beach hut. Now we're going to start getting into the colors that I actually want to see on the top. And where do we want? A little bit, a little bit. Beautiful color. Love it. Might need a few more layers for background on this. And you'll see where this paint here, it is not very opaque. It's quite translucent. So you can see the other color through it. And a nice thing about this brand of paint, the fresco finish paints, is that they'll tell you right on the bottle that it's translucent. And they have a little sample of paint on there on top of black lines or black arrows, so that it gives you an idea of how translucent it is or how opaque it is. Here's one that's opaque, and they have that little sample of paint on there. So it gives you an idea, but before you even get it out of the bottle, whether or not it's translucent or opaque, which is, it's sometimes nice to know. Some projects really doesn't matter, it's all about the color, but when you're layering, sometimes it's nice to know if you're going to see through it or not. And now I don't want my whole ditch to be this gray color, so let's put some more, a little bit of this. Not over the whole ditch, but on parts of it. There we go. Get rid of some of the brush marks. As close as my brayer can get to the ditch there, and we'll go roller this up too. This is plain, just playing, having fun. It really doesn't matter what you do, because if you don't like it, you just layer something on top. So now you can get the idea of the layering. You see some of this brown underneath, the stone color that I used, some of that showing through, just a little bit. Some of these other blues, the lighter blues, are showing through in some areas. Now some of the darker, which is more what I wanted, is on the top. So you know we're getting closer to the surface. We're getting closer to being finished. And how do you know when you're done? Okay, I get asked that a lot. How do you know when you're done? Well, it's when you love your page. If you love what it looks like, then you stop. If you don't like what it looks like, you just keep adding some more love to it. And eventually, it'll grow on you and you'll like it. Just don't give up on it too early, because a lot of art journaling goes through the ugly stage, you know? It just doesn't look that great. And if you give up on it, you never know what it could have become. So just don't stop. Add another layer. So there you go. There's in art, there's no rules, but if there was, that would be my rule. If you don't like it, put another layer. Kind of like life, right? Art journaling is like life. You don't like your life, change it up. Add a new color. Add a new color to your life. Okay, I'm kind of liking it, but you know, it's not there. But I am liking the colors. I love this dark blue. I've done, I think, this is probably my, I don't know how many pages I've done with this kind of color sets, but a few, because I just really like it. When you find one that you like, it's hard not to repeat it. And in art journaling, lots of times I will just sit down and do what I'm doing tonight. Just make a bunch of backgrounds. I have no plan whatsoever what I'm going to do with this page. I'm just having fun with color. And then on a different evening, I'll come through and look at the color and decide what needs to be on there, whether it's flowers or butterflies or just a really nice quote or a face, or who knows? Who knows what it'll be? But tonight all I'm worried about is, well, not worried. This isn't a worry. Is just playing with some backgrounds. So I'm going to go back and do, it's looking a little bit dark. I'm going to add a little bit of light. A little bit. And a little bit. And a little bit over there. Quite random, right? I only added it here because I felt like the dark blue was maybe getting a little overpowering. So I'm going to cover it up a little. Now it might be too light. Well, that's okay. Because you know how we get rid of too light? That's right. You just add on some dark. Gets a little too dark. You just add on some light. Easy. Easy and fun. This is a good stress reliever because you know what? All I'm thinking about is color. I kind of forget whatever has happened during the day. You know, for a moment there, I even forgot that it was freezing cold outside because I'm just having fun. Okay, so what other color am I going to do? I'm not in love with it yet. I like it, but I'm not in love with it. So I know I got to add something else. Let's see what happens if I add a bit. Oh, no. I don't like that. Okay, I liked it underneath, but oh, maybe. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought at first. That's not too bad. In fact, maybe I'll add some more. Okay, we'll give this color a chance. Ooh, that's a little much. Okay, I'm going to put some over here where some of my page is showing through. And here my page is showing through, and they're very random, right? This is as easy as paint. This is easier than paint by number because it doesn't matter where your paint goes, really. Okay, so I've got a fair amount of layers on this page. I should really consider finishing it up, but I'm not totally loving it yet. I want to go back to some of these darker blues. So a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Okay, so I have a plan now. I actually have a plan. I'm going to go a little bit of that. And what would happen if I kind of do them at the same time? Let's just see. I haven't actually tried that before. Now I put maybe a little too much of that because it's going to overpower it, right? Just put a little over there. Okay, well that's cool. Two colors at once. That's cool. I like that actually. I do like that. So, nope, that was that color. So I'm going to do a little bit of two over here. Hey, new discovery. I like it. I like it. I'm almost in love with this page. Not quite, but almost. So I'm going to add just a little over here. And I like the effect of adding both of these at once. Kind of equal amounts. A little bit and a little bit. There we go. Yeah. This is the effect that I'm liking it. Okay, I don't really like how that one came out. I maybe let it dry a little bit more than what I liked. So my challenge is to not keep repeating these colors over and over again, because now I really like them. And I like that effect of putting them both down at the same time. That worked out. So new little discovery. You can have all sorts of new discoveries. A little chunk of paint in there. I must have had some dry on my lid. Okay, I'm almost in love with this, but let me show you the real magic. Have a good look at this page and then check out what happens when I add in gold. Just a little bit. I don't want a whole bunch, but I'm gonna put it like where I have this little bit of a white patch. I just want a little bit to see. And you know what, really? I should tell you guys, before you use your paint, you should have the lid closed and you should shake it up. You don't see me doing this because I have been using my paint so much this week that they're well shaken. They really don't need to shake anymore. But the first time you go to use your bottle, be sure you shake it up good. Okay, so a little bit more somewhere. I'm gonna have to hold myself back from doing too much of that because I like the effect of, oh, look at that. Ah, oh, beautiful. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Just that little bit. And this one, well, they don't tell you if it's transparent or opaque, but I would say it's transparent because look at, you can see through it. It's not hiding my blue. It's just adding this accent of gold. Call me crazy, but I love it. That's exactly what this needed. Just, okay, come on. Come on, guy, you can do it. I just want a little bit. I don't want to squeeze too much, so I was trying to go a little gentle there. Oh, pretty. Okay, I don't know how well that shows up on camera, but I love the gold. Okay, that is just, that's like the icing on the cake. Love it. But now I like it more than, I don't really care for the white patches. I just want gold patches. So I don't really want to overdo it. I'm going to have to stop pretty quick here. I'm going to have to stop or it'll get overtaken with gold. And I just like that more of the hint. Just do a page like this with silver on it. They call it pewter, or at least the one that I have is called pewter. And just see how that comes out. I like it. I like it. Okay, so didn't I tell you that's when you should stop? When you fall in love with your page, you should stop. But sometimes it's hard because, you know, it's beautiful. Okay, maybe just a little bit down here, and then I have to stop myself. Okay, just the last little bit. Maybe a little up here too. Oh yeah, it needed that, right? Yes, of course it did. Okay. Stop, Kathy, stop it. These are awesome. Look at how that changed that up. I hope that shows up on camera. And it doesn't just look like a hot mess, because in real life, I love the gold on there. And actually, I think on camera, the gold is like magnified. So it's a little more subtle in real life. And I like that subtle gold. And even my brayer, isn't that pretty? And the best thing is, I don't have to clean it off. It just stays there. Alrighty, so here's what it looks like for background. Easy peasy, man. You saw how easy that comes together. There's one of the pastel colors. There's a video on that one too. You can see the colors I layered on it. What else do I have in here I can show you for some backgrounds? There's one. Just some purples and pinks. Mostly pinks. I think that was pinks. And maybe a white or buttermilk in the background, or a stone. I often put stone in the background. The next page I can't show you because it is really in its ugly stage. Maybe one day I'll put it on there. And this background, see, with the oranges, same idea, just different colors. And there's one at the mermaid. So that background colors, and there's a little bit of gold. That was using a lot of what I did today on this, right? So here's your background before it's covered up at all. And there it is after you've got some other design elements on your page. So a lot of fun. The colors, if you're looking to replicate something that looks like this, of course, every time you do it, it's a little bit different. But here's the colors that I used today so that you can see them. With using my stone as my base, not really necessary, but I just like doing that. Another side note, you don't have to gesso your pages before you do this. This paint straight onto your mixed media paper. This is what I'm working in, is one of these Dilution journals. That journal. There's your blank pages. No need to gesso. You go straight in there with your Paper Artsy chalk paint. This is a tool you're going to want. The brayer, your journal, and the colors that you love. Have a great day, crafters, and I hope you have some color in your life this week.